Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a confetti cake with vines and butterflies. I thought that would be pretty cute. Here's a little confetti cake. So what we do to make the cake itself is take a little tiny bit of white, a tan or ecru color, just a tiny pinch mixed with the white, and a whole lot of translucent. You want to use about 2/3 translucent with I'd say 1/3 of the white, and then a tiny bit of tan just to help warm up the color. You roll it flat on the thickest setting of your pasta roller. This is an inch circle cutter. I do that to keep the layers of cake even. This particular cake is 3 layers with a layer of white between on the bottom and on the top. So we'll do the bottom real quick. And then here's 3 more circles that were cut out of that vanilla cake color. I'm going to put the type white on. So there we go. To do the sides of the cake, I place it on a white piece of clay. The white piece of clay with the circles that I did for the top and the sides is the 3rd thickest setting on my pasta roller. I trim the white along the edge of the top and the bottom, so that way it will cover the full side of the cake. Give it a flat edge, and then I wrap it around. I smooth it so you can see that ridge, and then I slice it right there with a cutter. I've already shown smoothing the cake edge in the rainbow cake tutorial, so this isn't going to be a full one. This is just going to show you I smooth all the edges together, and then I run my index finger along the top and the side seams until they're smooth. And this is more or less smooth. I went ahead and did that earlier, so that way I'm not taking the time doing that on the tutorial. This is another cake that I dip in glitter. This is crystal glitter from Martha Stewart. It's the fine. So I take Primo and I coat the cake in, sorry, not Primo. I'm coating the cake in TLS. And I drop it in the glitter, put the glitter on top, roll it around, okay, and from here I'm going to wipe my fingers off so I don't make a mess with that TLS. I suggest you have handy wipes or baby wipes available to do that. So there is my glittered up cake. Now the easiest way to cut your cake if you're doing slices, if you're not doing slices, you could just take a triangle out. But I like to do slices so I could turn them into charms or pendants or earrings. So what I like to do is I lean over my cake to make sure that it's in the halfway mark, and I push straight down. From here, you can guesstimate thirds. And there are your slices of cake. I would let them rest at least an hour. I usually let them rest overnight before I slice into them like you just saw me do. when the clay is warm, it will tend to squish on you. So here is how we texture the cake. I take the edge of a pin, and let's see if I could get my hands in a good position for you. And I just make tiny, tiny circles. The circles overlap one another to give us the texture. It takes some practice to get used to doing it right, but once you have it, it doesn't go too long. It doesn't take too long to do once you get used to it. So that's how we texture our cake. Now here I want to show you how I get the confetti on it. Here I'm using the same colors from our rainbow lollipop. And I have most of this confetti on. I'm just going to add a little bit more. When you're texturing cake right, you usually lift little tiny bits of clay off. So here we have a little bit of the clay, and I'm going to poke it into our cake slice and continue texturing right there. I'll do it one more time. So you can see that again. I'm removing a tiny piece, and I'm going to put that one right here. I tap it in with my safety pin to make sure it doesn't come out, and I texture around a little bit, and there we go. So there is our slice of confetti cake. Now for the leaves, well, vines anyway. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, here's a cooked piece. I do bake them in the oven before I add the vines, so that way you don't take a chance on squishing your slice of cake. I bake them for 30 minutes. And then here I have 2 shades of green, one lighter, one medium. It's white and Spanish olive. And then I roll them out into 2 little snakes and I twist. I like doing this for vines. And then I take a little bit of the TLS and I place it on the back of our cake to help the vine stick when we're trying to attach it. I'm going to wipe my fingers off one more time. And then we're going to place this little vine. So I bring the very tip to a point with my fingers by twisting and pulling. And I usually place that towards the front and push down, and then I arch this back. If you want it twisted more, you can add twist as you're placing it. Sorry. And I like to have the bottom come along the edge of the cake and trim it off. So there's our vine. I tap it gently to try to keep from removing it. If you want it to have a matte surface, leave it alone. If you want it to be a little sparkly, just tap a little bit of TLS on it. And then since I put TLS on the back of the cake and top, I'm going to dip it in the glitter one more time. Glitter, glitter. And that gives us a pretty frosted vine. Now for the butterflies. I take a tiny piece of green. You could even do a tiny piece of whatever color the butterfly is. Roll it into a somewhat oval shape. And then I'm going to take my safety pin and dip it in a little TLS. And I'm going to place it where I want the butterflies. I want the first butterfly on the top. And I'm going to place that right there. Then I'm going to take my butterfly and add a tiny bit of TLS to the bottom of the butterfly. Here's my safety pin. I add a little TLS to the bottom of my butterfly, and I place it onto that green bit that we added. So there we have one butterfly on our cake. Then I will do the same thing for the yellow butterfly. Take a little TLS, put it right where I'm going to want the yellow butterfly, and you could do whatever colors of butterflies you like. You'll have to experiment just a little bit to decide what size ball will be easier to keep them on. You could even use maybe translucent or the color of the butterfly itself. And so there we go. So here we have the two butterflies, and you would bake it again, then this cake slice would be done. So there we have our confetti cake. And something that would even be cute too, if you wanted to go through the trouble, is you could take a tiny bit of acrylic paint or pastel, and you can paint it just along the body of the butterfly if you want them to have a little brown body. So there we go. I hope you enjoy this. It's been a fun one. We're getting to the very end of our rainbow theme series. And I'm going to see if I can get another video or two up. I do a popping pearl rainbow colored boba milk tea. So I'll see if I can get that up in the next couple days. Let me know if there's anything that you're wanting to see. Next theme is going to be breakfast. So feel free to give me some breakfast ideas. Talk to you soon. Bye.